Hello and welcome to the We Win podcast, powered by Accelerate Her Africa in partnership with the Human Pattern Institute. I'm your host, Lolita Ejiofor, and it's such a pleasure to have you here with us. Today's guest is someone who stopped me in my tracks, because when you encounter a woman who is this young, this focused, and this intentional about her life, you don't just walk past that. You sit down, you lean in, and you listen. Meet Edith Francoeur, entrepreneur, mother, and a woman of faith. She is building a business with purpose, raising her son with presence, and doing it all as a vessel of the Lord. Edith runs a commercial cleaning business, but don't let the simplicity of that description fool you. She understands that a clean space is not just about appearance, it's about trust. It is about professionalism. It's about creating environments where people can do their best work. And she brings that same standard of excellence to everything she touches. What moves me most about Edith is that she is not waiting until she has it all figured out to show up and serve. She is a mom to a toddler, she is a growing business, and she is still looking around asking, who else can I help? That, my friend, is courage over comfort. Let's welcome Edith. Hi, Edith. Welcome to the We Win podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for having me, Lolita. It's literally a pleasure.
Awesome. So, Edith, I'm looking at your journey and I see a fascinating detour. You spent your maternity leave studying tech sales, learning about cold calls, and sequencing with course careers. Usually, people do that to get a job at a software company. You took those high-level corporate skills and started a cleaning business. Was the cleaning business always a plan, or did you look at the tech job market and decide to bet on yourself instead?
Well, that's a really good question. So for me, the cleaning business was never the plan. It was God's plan, but it was not my plan because he gave me a word earlier that year before I even started Course Careers to start this business. But I'm like, I don't know the first thing about cleaning. Why would I start a cleaning business? But turns out I was just chasing security and I really wanted stability. So that's why I diverted from that plan. And I was like, you know what? This is a high paying role. You know, I can work from home with my child because I really didn't want to put him in daycare. So just being able to do that. And so somehow I got derailed into doing Course Careers. And then I actually landed a job in tech sales. And it just was not what I thought it up to be. I was working from home. I was with my child. It was just a mess. Like I had to make 100 calls a day. It was just really rough. And just sitting in my room all day doing that, I'm like, I'm making very little because I didn't land a role, like a high paying role like I thought I would. So I was just paying for my time. I was just on the clock and I just felt so lost. I felt like this cannot be it. This cannot be what I spent all my time doing. And so funny enough, I took all those skills that I learned from doing Course Careers and learning sales and things like that. And now I'm able to sell so much better in my cleaning business. Like when I talk to customers, now I have those selling skills. So it all worked out for my good. So yeah.
Yes, I can see that. That pivot is so defining of who you are. You moved from a sales role, but you still took away those skills and you're applying it in your current business, in your current cleaning business, and you're able to use those skills to drive what you're doing. But it also gives you the flexibility in terms of how you live your life with your son.
Yeah. Now I'm able to really like work from wherever I want to work because I don't actually do the cleaning. I actually hire subcontractors to do the cleaning. So I'm able to just run the operation however I want, put in however much time I want in on my business. And so it's just a lot more flexibility. So I'm really happy I pivoted.
It makes perfect sense. Okay. You previously founded Picture Perfect Picnics, a luxury event business. Now, with Polish & Co., you've transitioned into deep residential and commercial cleaning. That is a fascinating pivot from an aesthetic business, a nice to have, to an essential one, a must have. What did that shift teach you about consumer behavior? And have you found that building a business around an essential service provides a different kind of stability and scale?
Oh my goodness. Yes. So with the luxury picnic business, it was very fun and I got to be super creative in that. And I'm really glad that I did it. But definitely the consumer is different and the clients are different. So with that, I really had to market a lot more because it's not an essential business, like you said. So with my cleaning business, the customers are different, especially with residential. Now I'm moving into commercial. I actually haven't landed as many commercial roles yet, but I've pretty much done residential for right now. With the picnic business, those are people who want a high service. They want to have fun, things like that. They're celebrating something. With the residential, they're like, I need my house clean now. So it's very much a difference in that and seeing the customer in that. But yeah.
Yeah, there's clearly a difference because I can see how the luxury business is more detailed oriented and you wanted to make sure you had control of those details. But with cleaning, it's want it now and then you're able to pass that on to your team. I love the fact that with the picnic business, you're super creative and you're able to, control the product that you put out there. But from your perspective, what would you say is the most demanding, considering that the cleaning business is an essential service, so you have a lot more calls to deal with?
Yeah. So I think in the first role with the picnic business, I was super busy just because I was planning I was the actual one doing everything. I was setting up the picnics. I was talking to them. I was sending them a video of how it might look. I was talking to them about the creative side, what they might want, trying to make the vision come to life. So I spent a lot of time. I was a lot more busy, I feel like, with that business than I am with the cleaning business, because the cleaning business kind of runs on its own as long as I'm taking the calls and, booking it. But once it's booked, it's pretty much a done deal. My cleaner got the job and she goes clean and stuff like that. So yeah, I was definitely more busy with the first business.
Right. Okay. All right. So your resume lists skills like LinkedIn Sales Navigator and CRM right next to cleaning business owner. Most cleaning companies run on a notepad and a handshake. You are running yours on data. How exactly are you using tech sales tactics to land cleaning contracts? Are you cold calling property managers like they are software leads?
Yes. So I use Apollo.io, and I learned that from tech sales. I wouldn't have known about that software unless I went that route. So that's why I'm saying everything just worked out for my good. So with the cleaning business, I actually have a CRM with the cleaning business. So I use Booking Koala for my leads and everything like that. And it just keeps everything organized. I'm such a type A person. I like everything to be organized. I like to see the data. And then also when I really want to do something, I invest in myself, investing in coaching and courses and things like that, because I just really think that's important. And so I found people who were doing the cleaning business. Remember, I was asking myself, how am I going to do a cleaning business? I don't know the first thing about cleaning. So I pay for knowledge, and I really believe in paying for knowledge. Yeah. And so I found 2 coaches, and I've been in their course. And they're actually sending me a plaque soon because I hit a certain revenue goal. So that's really cool. So I'm just in that community, and I'm able to conversate with other business people who are doing the same thing as me. And so they're where I want to be, and I'm learning from them. So that's why I did the CRM and things like that. And that's how I learned that from tech sales. Even with tech sales, I paid for a coach.
Wow.
to get into tech sales.
Awesome. Yeah. That is so intentional. I absolutely love how you invest in yourself because you have to keep learning.
Yeah.
And then you surround yourself with people who are in the business already so you can learn from them. That's great to do.
Yes, daily. And I also have accountability partners. So we came into the business at around the same time, and we started around the same time. So we always are holding each other accountable. We set meetings weekly. So it's really great. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You mentioned that what sets you apart is the standard, detailed SOPs, so standard operating procedures, and vetted contractors. Scaling a service business is a nightmare because quality usually drops as you grow. How are you systemizing excellence? And how do you train a contractor to care as much about a stranger's dusty baseboards as you do?
So that's a good question. So before I went all in on the cleaning business, and before I bought the coaching, I was doing a lot of research on like YouTube. I'm a fan of YouTube University, so I like to do, my research. And so I saw a video, and he has a cleaning company, very successful cleaning company. I came across this video, and he was just saying that even from the beginning, he acted like his business was a big business. Like, you want to act like it's a big business, even if you don't have it yet, even if it's small. So that's the mindset that I went into the business with. I wanted to make sure that if I wanted to sell this business in the future, I would be able to sell it because it would already be set up. There would be standard operating procedures in place, and the cleaners would know exactly what to do. There would be no guessing. There would be no guesswork. So I don't want my cleaners to be like, oh, I didn't know to do this or to talk to you about this, because it's all written out. Right. And so that's the purpose of that. So for me, I really believe in treating your employees, and like for me, it's subcontractors, but treating them really well. So where they want to do a great job because they want to keep working with you. So I'm very strict about like no show, no reply, you're out, because we have to be very strict, but also like they treat me well and I treat them well. I give them incentives, like bonuses and things like that when they get a 5-star review. And I always am calling, checking up on my clients. Even after every clean, I call just to make sure, the quality met their standards. And then also in my booking and CRM system, I have a satisfaction guarantee that I have the client sign. So the cleaner walks through with them at the end of the clean to make sure everything looks right. And then they sign that. So just having all of those in place, it really helps to keep the quality where it should be.
Yes, I can, you are such a structure person, and I can see why it's important to have those standards, to be able to communicate to your cleaners what you expect from them, and they understand that fully without any doubt. And you also pay attention to detail when it comes to your clients, ensuring that you do reach out to them to find out how the service was.
Exactly.
It gives me a sense that you're very empathetic as you create values for your workers as well as your clients. So good on you.
Thank you so much, Lolita.
Okay. You listed your time as a stay-at-home mom on your resume, not as a gap, but as a role where you practice negotiations and grit between toddler tantrums. I love this framing. But let's get real about the logistics. You are running a fast-growing business while raising a young child. What is the one thing about the mom entrepreneur life that Instagram doesn't show? Like the moment you are taking a client call while hiding in the pantry.
This actually has happened, but in the closet, in the prayer closet. So he wakes up and he finds me in there all the time. I'm like on a call. But no, so when I first started this business, I told you I didn't want to put my child in daycare, but I had to really look at it. If I want to build this business up, because I'm building it from scratch, I have to have some time where I can focus on the business. So I did put him in childcare. He started with 5 days a week, but now we take it down to 3 days a week, thank God. And I'm able to, I know my way around the business now, so I can have more time with him at home and, have more time with him. But yeah, it's definitely a struggle. I really want to thank my village, because without my village, without my parents being able to help me, my sister, all of them coming together to make sure that this vision that I have, because they know how passionate I am about growing my business, and they always have been there, just been my rocks to help me, balance motherhood and balance, my ambitions and being a business owner. So that's really what it came down to.
Well, that really warms my heart. So, you have all of these people, your family, your support system there to help you with your vision.
Yeah, I feel like we somehow always figure out how to make it work, and we make it all come together. So, yeah.
Yeah, that leads me on to my next question. You have Romans 8:28 right at the top of your profile. All things work together for good. You've been an early intervention specialist, a picnic founder, a tech student, and now a cleaning CEO. That is a jagged line. When you look back at that verse, how do you see those random pieces fitting together now? Do you feel like you are finally where you're supposed to be?
Oh, I love that question. Do I feel like I'm fine? So that was a 2-part question. So how it all worked together, like I said, and I've been saying throughout this, like it all does work together for your good. Even when you don't see it in that moment, like, why am I doing this right now? Because even my cleaning business, you never know what God is really calling me to. Yeah. Like he called me to this and I'm stewarding it and I'm doing my best in it, right? But I definitely feel like there's a bigger vision that I'm supposed to be doing and I will get there. But I know that this cleaning business is part of that. So like being an early interventionist, I love working with kids, and that was another passion of mine. And I think just being a single mom and running my business, that helps me with that. Like I understand how to navigate my toddler. I understand and I know how to control his tantrums and just keep him regulated and things like that. And then with the picnic business, now I know how to work with customers. I know how to create a great customer experience. I know how to talk to people, and I know how to bring a vision to life, and I know quality. And then also with tech sales, I learned the skill of selling. So now I have that, and I'm more confident on the phone, and I know how to close deals. So that really all worked out for the cleaning business. And then the cleaning business right now, it has made me grow so much as a person, just in my faith and just as a person, regardless. Like I've learned so much discipline from waking up early, making sure I get things done for my business, especially when I started it, like building it from scratch. So it's all working out for my good, I believe. And I do think that I am where God wants me right now. I don't think I'm all the way there. I'm still definitely trying to build more obedience and more discipline, because I haven't always been a disciplined person. So this was really tough building this business because I used to be lazy. God delivered me from laziness. So just waking up knowing that I have to take care of my son, I have to run my business, it's helped me become a better person all around.
So would you say that your son is the catalyst for starting up the cleaning business?
I would say my son, because he's 2. I started the business last year, so I've had him for a while. I would say my son was a catalyst for me waking up and realizing nobody is coming to save me. I have to create the life that I want for my son and I. Like, there's no savior. I used to think that like, oh, I would be married, my husband gonna take care of me, blah, 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 blah. But Lord, the Lord quickly woke me up from that. And so he was a catalyst for me really awakening my eyes and just knowing that God has an anointing on my life and I need to do that. So I can't just be sitting around and being lazy and things like that. Me being at my lowest point when I had to move back home from being in that relationship with my son's father, that is what woke me up to like, okay, I need to build something. That was when I really called out to God, like, God, something has to shift. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean. It reminds me of the scripture, 2 Corinthians 12:9. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. So you had to get to that low point. You had to be at a place where you understood there was nobody coming to save you. There was no father of your child coming. You woke up, and so your son was a conduit that God used to get you to do what you're doing now.
Yeah. It's definitely a different way of life. It's not what I imagined my life to be, but God's purpose is always greater than my own. His plans are always better than my own. And I would add on to what you say of like what a woman should be doing if she finds herself in this situation. I would just go as far as to say, like, before you even think about getting in a relationship, before you even think about building a life in your head, you need to own up to your life and really take responsibility for your life and just realize nobody is coming to save you. 100. Go live your life. Go build the things you want to build. Do that first and then have a relationship come along, because just us as women, we're such nurturers. We want to give everything that we have to other people, and we need to be pouring all that into us until we get to that point where we need to be, that we can start thinking about getting in a relationship. But that's just my 2 cents from my journey.
It's great and sound advice. Okay, Edith, you are building this business in California, a highly competitive market. You're moving into commercial partnerships and long-term contracts. For the listener who is sitting on a business idea but feels they aren't qualified or tech savvy enough to start, you built this with grit and a course career certificate. What is your message to them about the power of simply starting?
I think it's all right there. Simply start. Like, it does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be everything. You have to realize that you're building something. So you're starting it from the ground up. It's not going to be perfect when you start it, but that's how you learn. You're not going to learn until you actually start and get the reps in of like how this should be and what you like and what you don't like. I've changed so many things from when I first started my cleaning business, like so many different policies now, and I added things and I took things out. Like you really just have to sit down, stop researching, stop having analysis paralysis, and just start and just simply start. I think that's the answer right there. Just start.
That is really empowering advice that you've given there. Simply start. Edith, it's been such a pleasure speaking with you today, and I really hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Lolita. I really enjoyed it. I'm so grateful that you saw my story and you were inspired to invite me on here. Honestly, it just means so much to me. So thank you for that.
You're so welcome. One thing I would say is I feel really privileged to be a steward for my guest stories. And Edith is an example of a young lady who has discovered who she is from a journey. She started in tech sales and then moved into entrepreneurship, and she had to find herself through that journey. So right now, she can appreciate all those pivots, all those detours as everything working for her good. I hope you had a great time listening to Edith today, and I also hope that you have a great week. Thanks for listening. Bye.